What's going on, guys? It's me, RDV. I'm here with Skip and Tosh, or Skimtosh as we call him. Daniel Ward Johnson's new bestie. Uh,
That's me.
yeah. Breen was here. He had I think he's gonna reboot his computer, but he had microphone problems. Um, so hopefully he gets that figured it out. So hopefully he's able to join us. Zach will be here as always. Half an hour late because he's just a diva. He has to get ready for a half an hour. You know. All right, so man, I got a few books this week, but I also managed to get the one thing I was really excited about. I got some back issues. Now they aren't really back issues as we call them. Mainly, I was able to pick up the first issue of Nightwalkers, and holy crap, this is kind of like in a sense. Basically, like the Descent, and you mix it with John Carpenter's Vampires movie. In the sense, anyway, so basically, what happens is I'll just a little brief summary. There's this girl. It's her third time at rehab. Her dad's in her, and she's kind of there. One night, they're all told to go to bed early, lights out early. They wake up and they're deserted. There's no one there. All the staff is gone. The phones are dead. Internet's dead. They don't know what's going on. Before this, you saw outside. It was raining, but it looked like the sky was red. It looked like it was raining blood. So finally, the ones who are just first, they're the newer ones. The ones who are basically with withdrawal. The ones who did the newest, I guess, called patients. The ones who just want to quick get out of there. One guy smashes the window. They all run away. So they have enough food to last for like 3 weeks, they figure. But then one night, something jumps through the window, and this looks like the creature from the Descent. It's basically it has no eyes, but it has the teeth stuff. Starts feeding on people, tearing them apart. They decide they have to flee. A group of them. They go to the nearest town. They're attacked through the woods. It is just crazy. They come across like a ghost town in the second issue, and I mean, this thing is just like you can see right here. It's just like tearing them apart. See the hand come up. Now this is Cullen Bunn. I gotta say, man, look at that. That is classic horror right there. Rips it up and you see the blood splaying. This is freaky, man. Like they go because they don't know what's haunting them. All they know is that they were abandoned. And these are all just people who are used to being abandoned, by their family members or whatever, going into rehab. They make their way into a small town, and it's deserted. Same thing. They have no idea where the residents are. The one girl is tripping out. She's seeing something that was her counselor at first, but then it turns into some kind of monster. She's hallucinating or basically having a bad dream. They wake up and they figure out basically where all the people are. They're in the storage unit closet there. And it just ends on a cliffhanger where basically they're like, they go outside, we could leave, and then it's like you see this, all the creatures are there, just ready to go after them. So I mean, like you said, if you like the movies like Descent or just basically the vampire kind of slash thing. Meanwhile, there's also a cult going around too. Like you see in the first issue, we see a picture of a cult and talking about something. I don't. So basically, as I said, it's a horror / kind of action kind of mystery thing, and only 2 issues in it. This is through Source Point Press. So, like I said, the preview for the 3rd issue is actually kind of cool. So, here. Last page. Yeah, it actually was here. That just was the last page right here. So that's the 3rd issue preview. So basically, if you like survival horror, this would be it. I definitely recommend. So this came out a couple weeks ago. I believe this.
I'm kind of interested now. I might have to check that out.
Yeah. Like I said, I was like, it's Cullen Bunn, but it's like it's not Cullen Bunn when he was working at Marvel with Wolverine and Blade. This feels kind of different, more mature, more and just I guess the description was, I guess he's working with I guess the people who did Stephen King's new movie, or it, the one, the sequel to It, not sequel, but what was it? The Shining one. What was it called? Dream.
Oh, yeah, Doctor Sleep, I think it was
Doctor
called, or
Sleep.
something like
Yes,
that.
yeah. So it's kind of like, yeah, kind of in that kind of stylized horror. Don't really know what's going on other than that they're being attacked. A group of survivors. One of and yeah,
That's
like I
cool.
said,
Source Point Press did Good Boy too, and
yep,
that
yep,
was a book. It was good. It was basically John Wick, but the dog was
yep.
was the one that got revenge. Yeah, Cullen Bunn's hit his stride right now with horror stuff and stuff like that. A lot of people are really enjoying it. I've enjoyed some of his other books that
Yeah.
weren't horror related recently. Like, I keep bringing up his Cyberpunk series that he did. So
Yeah.
it's good to see him have a resurgence. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like big name actors who kind of fall out of favor and then they go do a bunch of indie movies and build their cred back up. I feel like that's what Cullen Bunn is doing.
So these are all the ones that are coming out right now. And there you got who else? They got Good Boy, the Winchester Mystery House, Adventures of Cthulhu and Friends. And there's Jay Werner presents Classic Pulp. Coralie. They Came from Beneath the Sea, Nook, The Little Red Ronin, Sham Comics, Nightwalkers, and what is it? The Curse of Cleaver County and Penny Dreadfuls. And then we got this, We Eat Gods. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I like horror. First, I like vampire stuff. I've always liked that, which is creative stuff. Dracula, that stuff gets old for me. I like 30 Days of Night. I forgot who wrote that, but I remember watching the movie first, and then I think Ash read the story on his channel, but a year or two ago, and there's a whole series on that, and just survival. So hopefully, because people are getting picked off, and this is the way they do it. You see, the hand just comes down there in the woods. They're like, "Oh, we're fine," and it just pulls them up and rips it, and she's instantly poured with blood on her face. Like, that is typically what you'd see in a movie. So it's weird to see it in a comic book form, because I'm used to seeing that, like that's usually like a Ash versus Evil Dead kind of thing, where the blood sprays you. So I don't know. Like I said, I hope this actually turns into maybe a TV series or even a short movie. I'd be interested to see it. I mean, I'm not really into huge horror, supernatural, on the demonic stuff like this, but like vampires, if you do a good vampire story, it's cool. I don't need Underworld, I don't need Twilight. Just do a classic like survival horror. Like, you don't, a group of people who just just have been abandoned. You don't know what's going on, and just the style of that. It's kind of like, because the way that breaks out in the beginning, where they have no idea what's going on, they just know that everyone left them. And the phone lines are dead. The internet isn't working, and they're out in the middle of nowhere, and they have to hike through this woods while this creature's chasing them. They get to a ghost town, and there's no one there either. Like, that is like straight up like apocalyptic, kind of like the worst and the worst. And these are people who are like on the mend, been doing drugs, and the rehab. So imagine all of that. So it's like you're like, am I just going crazy? Or is this really happening? And is it the worst situation for them?
Yeah, it sounds really trippy.
Right. All right. We have Mr. Breen back.
Do we?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, cool.
All right. You sounded like you're one of those, as Skip put it, your microphone made you sound like a robotic chipmunk.
It's weird. I did the fossils last night, and everything checked out when I went to log in. And
I don't know what to say. I mean, if you have an older computer, I mean, I know it's kind of for budgeting, but I don't know.
I should probably just, as a rule, reboot before I do anything now, just to be safe.
Reboot, or I mean, look at getting a new computer. I know it's expensive, but it's that's on the thing. When you can afford it. But
maybe in the months when gas and electric bills aren't higher than my mortgage, I'll consider it.
Right. Just you know what it is. Just do a year without buying anything from Trader Joe's.
I'd starve. But there is one piece of business to take care of first. I believe we have to light the beam.
Light the beam, baby. I'm out here in the Bay Area with all my Sacramento stuff on. Lighting the beam.
Yeah, we were saying light the Breen earlier. Then the Breen went out. He kind of dimmed.
The light went out.
It's like it's fixed now. Let's do a little stop here. I'm going to say hello to some people. I got to get to say hi too. Hello to MK. Thanks for showing up, man. Rachel, awesome to see you here. Marania, always here. It's a pleasure. We got Jay here. All right, and then I think that's it. I don't think there's anybody new. Oh, JR's here. All right, Eva Black Cat.
Yeah. By the way, Marania is always with us on Wednesdays, and we appreciate that greatly. And I want to say thank you to Jay for popping in.
All right, Imperial Goddess. Nice to see you here too as well. I think that's okay. Nobody else knew. And hello to Eric Breenford. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
All right. So that was I'm finally just getting to the new books of the week. So
how many new books do you have this week?
11.
Wow, you beat me by 11.
Oh, well, technically 12. I got the reprint, and that's just funny. Straight up, it's just I love it. So. Can't imagine what it's going for the original, but this is this is number one. The first one they printed back in 1992, I believe. And I also got think of this annual. We're not the annual, but
are there any new stories in that? Because I think I might have one at the store waiting for me, but
I think it's just a collection of the ones that in case people forgot or didn't get a chance to. It's got 11. Looks like 12, 5, and whatever the other one is. It might be 9. But I didn't get a chance to flip through it. All right. Okay, so Vampire. Okay, these are stories from Devil's Slayground, which is all new Vampires Carmilla story. But then there is Vampires Carmilla number 5, straight from there for number 7, 3, 6, and 2, and 1. So it's kind of
they did put one new one in.
Yeah, the very
better
beginning.
Than nothing.
Yeah, so that's the new story.
Of course, I read so much; they all seem new to me after a few months because I forget.
Right? But I mean, it's like I said. Look at the art on this stuff. Look at that.
Yeah, I said, everybody that likes horror of any era should be buying this because it's, it definitely has that 60s, 70s, eerie, creepy Vampirella feel to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they even advertise, here's Shudder.
Yep.
So, like I said, just in general, if you're looking for the old school kind of like horror, kind of like, stories, like you get Tales of the Crypt or some other ones. I mean, there is some nudity, topless nudity here to do it, but majority of the stories are just like, man, sometimes they're funny and sometimes it's like, you just feel bad for the character. It's like, oh, but, yeah, it's like I said, the art. No matter what story you're just getting good art. This is kind of art I miss from like seeing like in any of the magazines. Even the early 90s. I'd say Harris had some good art in here too, but this takes you back to like early Marvel. The magazines you'd say with Jim Starlin.
Well, not Starlin, but Marvel was definitely trying to emulate the Warren feel, so it's
y'all know I love Jim Starlin. That's my favorite writer of all time.
Well, I was going back to I think it was the Jim Starlin did the first Star Lord, right? Story, right?
He did the what?
Star Lord.
He may
Oh,
have,
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I know
but
he did. Are you thinking of Breen? What's the title that he did for First Comics? I'm blanking on it.
Dreadstar.
Dreadstar. I know he did Dreadstar.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah,
the one I thought he did. I was talking about the Marvel magazine when they had Star
no,
Lord.
he might have, but I was thinking more along the lines of their horror magazines.
Because there was one where the guy, I think it was Jim Starlin, he takes a girl, they go onto the moon, and like something happens, like he defends her or something, and then he's betrayed or something by her. It's been a while, but
I know
yeah, I
they
mean
are expensive as all get out.
they are. So like I said, these are just fun. Like I said, and if you miss some of the early issues, you get reprints. It's like a sampler book.
And if you haven't started the series, that's a perfect jumping on point.
Right.
I hate that term, but it
Yeah.
fits here.
11. This is only $11, and you're getting good 10 stories in here. On
Ash,
black and white newspaper.
I'm gonna tell Ash before he gets out of here. I got Geiger 1 through 6 today.
Oh, nice. That's awesome, dude. All right, what's up, Undead Quinn? All right. So yeah, so my number 11 is I picked it up because I just wanted to check it out because it has Carlos Gomez art, which is phenomenal in the book. The art, story, not so much. Mainly because yes, this suffers not just because Stephanie Phillips. She's her own. Just take that aside. Forget it's Stephanie Phillips. The fact that they have to have Destiny and what's her name and Mystique in a lesbian relationship. What's that all about? I haven't been following.
Did you say Destiny and Mystique?
Yeah, they're both Rogue's moms.
Yeah, when they were around in the early days, it was more like Destiny was the grandmother, Mystique was the mother, and Rogue was the daughter. But
Now
everybody's got to be gay.
Yes. So of course Gambit. It starts off with Gambit. Basically, he's fighting like the Hand, or basically it's supposed to be equivalent to the Hand, the Red Ninjas. This has nothing to do with what's going on in the Daredevil story. Really, there's no continuity. Yeah, it just stands alone. And he was basically waiting for Rogue to show up, but something happened, so she basically showed up late. He got drunk. He got jumped in a fight, and she comes and saves his ass. Now I've seen, this is you can't say like oh no Rogue has to save his butt. That's very it's happened before, but he held his own.
Rogue's infinitely tougher than Gambit.
Yeah. Gambit held his own, even though he's drunk, and then when they got back to the hotel, they're because they're supposed to have a vacation. This is away from Coco and stuff. Destiny comes up and says goes in the room and says kind of talks on the Gambit in front of his wife, who doesn't stand up for him. That shit annoyed me. And so basically, yeah, they have to so basically says Rogue, I need you to do this, and and doesn't give her any information. Gambit calls Destiny on this bullshit. It's like, you know what? He ain't doing shit. You even told us what we're supposed to do. You just said go to this person, get this person, and bring him back. Now, the person they're supposed to bring back, I forgot what his name is, but he's used to work for Sword. But he anyway, so what happened in the story is that these big powerhouse villains or mutants are being kidnapped and sold off to this person, and so basically they team up with him because they need him to go back. This guy, I'm trying to remember what his name is. I can't remember. That's how far out I am of the comic books. It's not Forge. If it was Forge, I remember that. But the guy's name is I'd have to look it up. But anyway, yeah. Something happens, and then they end up leaving the guy and they're pulled through a portal. He leaves them there. It's not Gyrick. It's like his. This would open up. It probably should be here. But overall, the character wasn't really that interesting to begin with. So.
Well, Stephanie Phillips can't write, so there's that.
Oh, what's this? Manifold. Does that sound familiar?
It vaguely, but X-Men. Like I said, what the X-Men were to most Marvel fans, the Avengers were to me. So I was way more
Well, I'll just say
invested in the Avengers.
This is the art you're getting here. And you'll notice there's a lot of cheesecake when it comes to Rogue. So basically, he laughs him off. He says, "I'm not going with you." He has his own mission to do. And then, yeah. This was kind of interesting, too, because now I see this. I've seen this in Planetary where they go from a story, the art, and then they go to like a thing I hear, like a document thing. Now, the redacted part was kind of annoying.
X-Men have been doing that for years, and someone pointed out that was ripped off as something else that I can't remember what it was.
But
yeah,
so, like I said, the good thing, the art was good, but like I said, the story was kind of bland. Like I said, Hickman's Avengers. Thank you, Mark McGrath. Okay. Yeah, Manifold ends up getting captured after he sends them out of there, and like I said, it just got the point where I was like, I just want more Gambit Rogue, just him teasing her and her getting annoyed, because that's basically what it is. At this point, I don't need Destiny coming in and just talking down to him. You think, at least because she's married a guy now, she would stick up and just kind of tell him, you know what? Shut the fuck up. This is my husband here. You show respect,
Do you remember my biggest gripe was about Hickman's Avengers?
That you didn't read it?
Well, no, that everybody was an Avenger.
Oh, yeah.
Mark just proved my point.
Yeah. Well, he also worked for SWORD too.
What other car parts were Avengers?
Yeah. But whatever this is, the fate of the world rests on getting Manifold back to Krakoa, so Destiny can, for some, because she's, and it's pointed. As I've learned before too, I'm reading up on Destiny. She's always self-serving. Her, because she can see the future. She never tells you, and at that point, I'm just thinking I thought Destiny would be the nicer out of the two. Mystique's always been the one that doesn't like Gambit. Destiny would be like, hey, I think she'd be a little nicer, but nope. Overall, right now I'm just giving it a 3 because I don't really know what's going to happen in the next issue, if it's going to get worse, continue to worse. But the art really is a plus on this. If you're gonna, the fact that they're allowing to draw her looking the way she is in this book, it goes back to the '90s Jim Lee stuff when they draw Rogue.
Are they changing writers?
Probably not.
If not, it's going to get worse.
Yes. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, this comic, right now is so far is.
And if she's got some plot points, she better get to them because it ain't gonna last.
Yep. So, that's why it's at the bottom of the pile. I couldn't even get the cover I wanted to. I was like, "Where's the Kari Andrew ones?" It actually has the classic cover. No, but. Hickman used Manifold so well, Coates and used Manifold in one of the coolest ways at the start of his run. Like I said, I hope that something becomes of this. Prove me wrong, because I've seen how she writes at DC. I've never seen Stephanie Phillips or anything at Marvel before, but we'll figure it out. All right, number 10. Sergeant Rock versus Armored Dad. This is the final issue. Pretty much it's Rock versus a zombie Hitler. And you're getting a knuckle, knockdown, punch. Just battle between them. They're in the bunker, and he ends. There's a scene where Hitler's gonna stab him with a needle. They use reanimating corpses from the zombies. He's gonna stab it into Sarge's neck. Sarge basically breaks his hand, his wrist. You see the bones pop out, and he turns the needle and shoves it right in Hitler's eye. And then he grabs a scarf, and takes a grenade, puts it in Hitler's mouth, shoves him into the back room, and he basically ducks underneath like a safe or something, or a locker, and he's basically, Hitler is splattered everywhere. He says, like, you want to be the most powerful brain known by everyone. Now you're everywhere. Whatever. Now, I heard from people, especially Zach, they say like, "Well, this doesn't sound like Bruce Campbell." It's not meant to be like a Bruce Campbell. If you're thinking Bruce Campbell, like you're thinking like Evil Dead comedy stuff, it's not that. It's not going to be that because he's not writing Evil Dead. He's writing a serious story with a little bit of humor. And which is just kind of like most people don't realize that Bruce Campbell is kind of a serious guy. He's not. He does slapstick, because that's what sells. He knows that. But overall, a good book. But there is talk of basically there might be a sequel to this. But the ending was kind of mid. I'll say that the very ending part, But because basically you're setting it up, they're gonna have Sergeant Rock leading basically his troops are going to battle like the supernatural monsters, which could be kind of cool, Creature Commandos versus Sergeant Rock or something like that. We're teaming up. I'm all for it. All right. Number 9, Purgatory Must Die. Very good book. I'm actually liking this. Purgatory's been being basically the Greek gods have basically put a hit on her. She's got anywhere from Lilith to Draculina, Vampirella, Chastity, Panthera, and a few others hunting Evil Ernie, hunting her down to kill her because the Greek gods promised them each, like their greatest fantasy, whatever they wanted, they give it to them if they kill Purgatory, because Purgatory has already proven that she can kill a god. There's even Lady Hell is going after her too. So Purgatory, with the help of this other guy, he leads her to basically the hideout in the Garden of Eden, which basically anyone her kind should not be able to get in. As they discover, there's already some creature in there that's basically in dark forces has been tainting Eden. And yeah, the only downside of this is that Vampirella is very I don't see why she would even join this. Vampirella's always been on the side of good, but she's very bigoty. She's showing a lot of bigotry towards Purgatory. And I would have thought that maybe Vampirella would be like, what, hey, let's hear her out. It's want just to be all gung ho killer. It's like it doesn't feel. It feels So this is Ray Fox writing this.
Well, it depends on what version of either the character, because Vampirella has the personality of whatever the writing or wants to give her.
Yeah,
Purgatory is pretty much a remorseless killer.
She is.
So I could see a character like Vampirella just be kill first, ask questions later.
Yeah. But this Purgatory has been kind of she is a remorseless killer in this, but she's also showing some humility, which is this is a new take on her, which I haven't really seen. She's basically, she says the reason she kills because she's just bored. She's always looking for something, that entertain her. She's seen everything. She's been around for for a long, long time. That's why she's just kind of everything's play things to her. She's learned how to do stuff, trying to remember what she said. Oh yeah, she said the last issue they actually brought up that she actually knew. She says, I knew Jesse James, but Jesse James didn't die in that cabin, in his little house. He learned some magic where basically to put part of his soul, you take part of your soul and put it into somebody else, so when people go to see that person, they see you as you. So he was able to hide. He said he was hiding till he lived a long life till he died, hiding out somewhere else. Everybody thought he was dead. It's so she uses that trick on the people chasing her. But like I said, it's just watered down versions of Chastity and Vampirella and just Lilith stuff. The fact that Lilith is hunting down Purgatory should make Vampirella not want to hunt down Purgatory. Because why is Lilith is going after her? Because Lilith shouldn't be trusted. But like I said, that's why it's down to the bottom of the pile. It's like I said, it's a good story, but it's just not, it could be better. All right. Speaking of books I've gotten better, my number 8. This actually was really good this week. Better than it's been. The MODOK Geekstone here is a new version of a MODOK. He's basically got everyone in a dream kind of world, torturing them because they're all unconscious. Destroyer is the one who basically rises up because apparently he's got them. I guess we call it this mental training. He's always had that resistance because I guess he's been mind controlled in the past. I think, right? Breen, do you remember that?
That who's been mind controlled in the past?
Destroyer? One of the invaders?
Oh, good question.
So he's able to stand up, especially when the guy takes on the form of, MODOK takes on the form of his ex-lover, Union Jack. And that really pisses him off. He's able to wake up everyone else up. They end up defeating MODOK. And then, like, there's a scene here where, like, the MODOK head splits open and then another MODOK comes out of it. It's really trippy. But one of the characters does die in this. So I'm not going to say who. But overall, it just like I said, it was a very good book. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. You know. But, yeah. All right. Number 7. This is the ending of the Nezra, the Demon Nezra story. Nezra is basically possessed Batman. And if they take Nezra out of Batman, Batman's basically gonna die. Now this was kind of weird because they kind of took an idea from like Dragon Ball Z, like at the end, like as they go to rescue like Batman, Robin goes over. This is a huge spoiler. If you haven't read this, turn it off right now because I'm gonna spoil the crap out of this because this was a really mixed ending for me for Mark Waid. So basically, what happens at the end? Batman's there laying dying, and he basically asks, "Is like, and they're like, is there any way we can save him?" He's like, "Well, Batman's kind of like this pretty much on the brink of death. Not even our souls, because Damien's like, can't you take a part of all the Bat family souls and like give it to Batman to restore him, to heal him?" And like basically, what's her name? Zatanna says like, "Oh, that would even work. I don't think you need more than that." So what does Damien do? He goes on over the airwaves and says, "Everyone, if you know the Batman, what he's done to you, he saved your life countless times, but he needs you right now. Look up and believe. And give basically it's like those who watch Dragon Ball Z when Goku was doing the Spirit Bomb." He was pleading for all the living creatures, on Earth, like they give a bit of their power to help him defeat Frieza during a giant spirit bomb. It was like, oh my gosh, this is literally what it is. Mark Waid just pulled a Dragon Ball Z move. Of course, Batman at the end, Batman it basically ends with Batman getting a hug from Robin, and Robin saying like, I'm sorry about everything I've done before, and they said there's like it ends with basically Batman and Robin just swinging through Gotham City. All the magic's restored back to Wiz, and Nezia is basically back in his cage. But like I said, that was kind of really weird, like anime ending. And I was like, I don't know. This is a Mark Waid. Like don't know if it was rushed or if he just someone, hey, he'd be cool to do this. Maybe he's a fan of anime. I don't know. It just seemed like okay. Kind of a half-assed ending, but so maybe this is a sign of the I guess the kinks in the armor, the chinks, or we would call them crinks, cracks. I don't know. So yeah, I would say if you're gonna read that, it was entertaining. It was for the ending, but it was like, so I want to give it 3.5, maybe 4 out of 5 stars. All right, number 6. Return of the Wicked Witch, Oz. This is the last chapter, part 3. This was pushed back a little bit. Basically, Dorothy and her friends, the Scarecrow, and I forgot who, and Toto, the wolf, and the go to rescue the Guild Witch, Gilda. She's been kidnapped by the Wicked Witch. The Wicked Witch, the reason we learned that the reason she's evil because she wanted to revive her son who had died. She was originally the Good Witch, the only witch, and she basically was turned to dark magic to try to revive her son who was killed. and she said, and so she was banished. So now she's still trying to do that. She's got all these people and she's experimenting on them. But I don't know. It's so at the end, the Wicked Witch ends up basically realizing that she can't know what she do. She can't bring her son back. She also lost her lover, who was like her second hand in command. He died, and so basically she just kills herself at the end. She leaps to her death. Everything's restored. The land, as far as Gilda being, she's got her magic back and stuff. They bring the lion back to life. Fun story. Just weird. I'm not a big, huge Wizard of Oz fan. I don't know if you are. It's just,
I liked it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, when people, I like the movie was cool, but when the people adapting it, changing it, like, it was okay. It's an average story.
Well, that's kind of what Zenoscope does.
Yeah.
So that's.
But yeah, so that was like, okay, it's, they turned Dorothy into a badass. Okay. Now, is it better than watching Once Upon a Time version of that? Probably. I don't know if they even did a Oz thing, but all right. Actually, hold on. I forgot that wasn't my number 6 because I do have more than here. That was actually my number 7. So I actually had 12 books this week. I can't count this week.
Math is hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So this is actually my number 6. Like I said, it's been okay.
What is it?
This is a Detective Comics.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Freeze is the main part of the story here. Batman and Gordon kind of like reminiscing. Batman's learning that there's some tunnels underneath Gotham that these villains have been using. And while he's basically, as he's injured again, after Two-Face basically spared his life. Two-Face, now this is my problem with this book. Two-Face knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
What?
I don't know. Yeah. Only because the Two-Face persona told Harvey or whatever, shared it with them. And he basically, he spared Batman's life, saved him from the Orgham's like goons, they're werewolf. So Batman goes to Gordon again. This is the second time he's done it in the series, where he went to Gordon because he's injured. Gordon helped him out when he was dying by the docks. We were fighting against the werewolf in the first issue, or the time they met. Now it's the second time he's basically healing up there, and Gordon knows he's Bruce's Batman. He just won't say it. I mean, that's my vibes I'm getting from this.
That I've seen that going back 50 years.
Yeah.
So that it's one of those things where at least the modern writer hasn't taken it upon themselves to let that cat out of the bag, and as it shouldn't be.
It's Ram V, so he's like, as Gordon says, like, I tried leaving Gotham. I lost a marriage. I lost a child. I quit. I left Gotham, and here I am. I'm back again.
So is he back from trying to kill the Joker over in Europe or whatever, or is there still another one?
I don't know if that's why he left in this book, where they're mentioning it. Maybe it's connected to that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I knew that there was another series going on. I really hope that's not where. But yeah, and Gordon's back. I don't know if he quit drinking for a while, but he's an alcoholic. But he's basically drinking, in this and that. And then he talks to Batman. He's like, hey, he's like, I left, I came back, and I was like, because I have a kid. So when it comes to Gordon, like, Gordon's like, it's a heart-to-heart talk with him. I thought that was kind of cool. And he's like, what's your? Every man has his limits, And he's like, and he's like, he's talking to him, and then Batman's kind of like kind of silent over there, and he's like, let me guess, I'm an old man talking to myself again. You probably did your thing where you walked away, left me here, making me look like a fool. If anything, and then they show on the other side of the wall, Bruce is still there, and he's listening, and he stops almost to say something, and then he goes out the window then, and continue the fight. And then he's talking to Oracle, Now I'm not sure if Gordon knows that his daughter is Batgirl or Oracle. By this point, I'm pretty sure he probably knows. If he hasn't said it out loud.
He used to, but there have been so many reboots.
Yes.
I don't know if
exactly, except because he said he had called his daughter, and so I think he does know that she's Oracle in some way or another. But
What?
mute yourself next time.
I wasn't making any noise.
I heard the box.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry.
Uh,
A good microphone.
You sound like you were
Jeez.
stuffing a body in there.
Who says I'm not?
he's got 12 short boxes lined with garbage bags.
I was about to say, I've got some, what is that, hydrochloric acid that they used in Breaking Bad? Just,
Well, I wouldn't use it with a cardboard box. So he'll just go right through that.
yeah, that's true. You're right.
But yeah, overall, I flipped through actually, I gotta say, the backup story here, by Simon Spurrier was kind of disturbing. Mr. Freeze is ever since he brought his wife back, he thinks that she had brain damage, and that's why she rejected him. So he basically takes his therapist, and basically starts experimenting on her. Gives her this drug and is just gonna try to put her under a cryo freeze and see if he can fix it. He's like, because he's so obsessed. That's why his wife didn't like him when he came back, because he messed up. It's because he didn't. She had slightly brain damage from the procedure going under, and you just see her, and then she starts this woman is freaking out as he goes to leave, and she starts freezing up, and then she starts seeing like this new a demented like a monster or a hallucination or whatever. It's like I forget what it's supposed to be called, but I guess it's a first
Earworm.
The earworm.
Yeah.
So I was just like, that was just such like a dark story for the second one. I was like, oh my gosh, Simon Spurrier. Like, I usually don't like his stories, but I was like, that's freaky. But yeah, this is my number 6. I give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Wow, it didn't even make your top 5? Dang.
No. Well, I also cheated. I put a book in here I normally don't book in because it's a reprint every month. So I threw it in there because you know what? Why not? Let's see how it rates against the others. And okay, so my number 5 is Red Sonja, Unbreakable Red Sonja. This is the Dan Panavision or Panavision. I don't know how I say his name, but so this story has actually been getting better by the minutes. It's Red Sonja and her younger past self, Red Sonja. They were this person basically in the very beginning is basically messing around with time and made herself into a goddess. She killed all the other gods, and now the whole world's changed. And the land, and they worship her. Red Sonja and her youngest version herself, Red Sonja. They basically go into this churches, and they're about to get killed. Younger Red Sonja jumps up to the priest, holds a knife to his throat, and says like, "You're gonna call your monster off, or I'm gonna kill you." It's like, and they point, and so Sonja, the older one, points out, it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny, like you let everyone else sacrifice themselves, but when it comes to your life, you don't want to die. This little cult thing, she says, calls them a cult, and of course, because Sonja, the younger Sonja, this is her first kill. She ends up slitting the guy's throat. To the shock of Sonja, and she's just like, what the hell? It's like, and then the person who became a goddess, the main bad girl or woman, we're called bad person, shows up, sees what happened. Sonja thinks she's gonna go and stab this person now, and she ends up just killing the younger version of Sonja, putting, she's got a hole in her chest, and then you see the real Sonja has a hole in her chest, and then she dies. And she wakes up in a bed, and looks like basically, it almost looks like maybe they're going to have, she's in a world where she wasn't a warrior. This is another attempt by this person, the goddess, the new goddess, fake goddess, try to trick her. But like I said, I was like, oh my gosh, I killed a kid in the book. So I was like, he said, so This is I'm trying to remember who the writer is on this. Do you remember, Zach? It's something Zub.
Zub, is it Zeb Wells or Jim Zub?
Jim Zub, I think it is. Yeah, Zeb
Yeah.
Wells is doing Spider-Man. I know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why my number 5. I did. It's a 4.5 out of 5, almost a 5 for me.
What if Zeb Wells married Jim Zub and took his name?
Zeb Zub.
Zub.
That'd be awesome.
Of course, you'd say that. All right. Number 4 is Red Winter Fallout. Just crazy espionage. You got son of a Russian gangster, but he's American. He's American though, and he's caught up in this whole fallout of a gang war, mixed with American psyop or spies that were killed too. He's the only one left alive. He's being this woman who's a former American policewoman. She's basically made a promise to his dad to get him out after get him out of the city. He's being hunted by this Russian Nazi gangster, and now the cops are after him. And now there's this woman here. This is the new American spy who's meant to go basically sent by the CIA to go clean up the mess because her mentor is the one that's helping the kid out, and she's there to basically clean up the mess, and just everything's just there. There's a scene here where they go get papers, and they're betrayed by the guy, and so the woman helping the guy, Joseph Winters, they run down. They're going to try and escape because the police just showed up there, and then you see the woman who's the former CIA agent recognizes the cop. The cop recognizes her. Apparently, they had a history together. They've met before. They both worked for this other gangster. So I said, it's just cool. It's just basically like watching a movie, but it's written up, but basically in comic book form. It is by Scout Comics. It's issue 3. This is the second volume. I do recommend just going to their website, going to scoutcomics.com, I believe it is, and just buying the books there. Or if you can find them at your local comic book store, do that. But well, Nazi gangster sounds like a Richard Spencer joined the White Knight. I would say, well, I don't know. It makes sense. I mean, you can have the new neo-Nazi sympathizers, the ones that want to just ruin the stable of the country and stuff. But all right, so that was my number 4. Number 3 is Born of Blood by our good friend over here, Dolan, who's been on the show at least twice now. This is part of the Merc Publishing universe, and this is the physical print. He did, before we did an interview with him, he had given Zach and I actually a PDF form of number 5. So I read it over, and then so basically it's what this is the second to last issue of this. There's only 6 issues with the queen or should be queen, the princess, the daughter of Sparta, basically trying to retake her throne. She was betrayed by her father's advisor, who basically wants the throne for herself. Big shocker at the end. I'm not going to say any more than that. I'll just say the art here is really cool. The helmet that she's wearing on here does come to play in with the rest of there's these mystical artifacts. So it's connected to another part of the universe with Miss Meow and Death Rage. So awesome book, man. I do know that I'm sure they've done it yet, but always check out on Kickstarter. They do through Merc Publishing. You'll see they do the Kickstarter version, and they have different covers, different incentive stuff. But they usually through Lunar Press, they'll release the book early so it goes to the comic book shops, which are looking cool. And then if you want to go on Kickstarter, you can support them more. But check it out. Aaron Sparrow is doing Death Rage, which I believe just wrapped up last week. Fun series. All right. Now, the book I was talking about before, I normally don't put it in here, but I was curious to see where it would go this week if I put it in here. and this is The Walking Dead Deluxe. Is my number 2.
Cool cover.
Yeah, this is that Tula person. I think you were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll remember their name later.
But this is number 58. Now, if you haven't read this series, I'm just trying what I should say about this. This is the part in the series where Abraham. This is right after the governor situation, and Abraham sitting on a car next to Rick, and they're basically discussing like Abraham talks about his family, and we get to find out about Abraham's family, how he was really divorced, from his wife and his son, and his kids, but he lived only a few blocks away. So when the shit hit the fan, he quick tried to find him. They held him in the grocery store. His wife. What happens is that they know the zombies. They were fine, but what he didn't count on is that people, when their switch flips off, this one day randomly while he was gone, out getting supplies, more stuff. This group of guys raped his wife and his daughter in front of his son. Held him down, and so when Abraham came back, he lost it, tore him with his bare hands, tore their arms and legs, by limb with his bare hands. And his wife was so scared, distraught, that they took his wife and his daughter, and his son. They all basically left. They fled, left them there, and they didn't tell him where they're going. He eventually come across, he saw his wife and his son. They were not. They're dead. They were eaten by zombies. There was nothing left of them to even animate. His daughter, though, saw that he came across her. She was a zombie, and he had to put her down with a gun. He said, "I shot my own kid." It's like, and he says, "I'm a horrible person," stuff. And Rick just kind of like sits and talks to him and says, like, I've done shit too. I killed a guy back at the prison, man. In the midst of where we're getting attacked by the governor, the guy took my hand. I shot him in the confusion. Maybe he would have changed because he wasn't going to let him stay there. So it was just crazy. And then the funny thing is, like, I forgot about this, rereading this again, and is that Carl was there. Carl's about like 6 or he's probably like 8 now, or whatever, in the series, or right around there, 7. And he pops up and he says, like, I was like, yeah, I shot a bad man in the neck, but he's like, I gotta admit, I kind of liked it. He's like, Dad, I have these nightmares, it's like these things that I want these evil, urges stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, Carl. But this Carl just sticks because they're laying up against a car, and Carl just comes up under the car. He's like, what's up, guys? This is also where Dale and Andrew were still a thing, and yeah, I know, right? I know.
Damn, I forgot about that.
And Dale,
that's gross.
Dale is just pissed off. He says, "Where would we go?" He's like, "It's just, we can't trust Rick. He's just gonna lead us to their death." So he's like, "Oh, we need to go away, live by ourselves, take the twins, and just live by ourselves." But we haven't got to the issue yet. Where like, it's like, remember, look at the flowers. Yeah, we haven't got the scene where those 2 kids and the brothers, yet. We haven't got that. But man, just a fun series. Walking Dead. If you've never read this, check it out. It's really cool seeing it in color form. Just be colored because it was just black and white before. So now things are really popping. Now it's like this is a special treat. They have the original letters here that people would write to Kirkman, and he respond. But but underneath the last page, and then they have actually Kirkman talking about the coming floor, scene by scenes, what he wanted to do, but he changed his mind at the last minute. They had to move down, and at the end, Morgan appears with his son Dwayne. Dwayne's a zombie. So, yeah, that's an image I don't need. Thank you, Marty. Dude, man, I tell you, HR, if you haven't read The Walking Dead, check it out, man. It is just a fun. The way Kirkman writes this, the characters are all fleshed out. No pun intended, but but awesome. It's an awesome series, man. I love it. But so you're like, that's my number 2. What could be my number 1, Zach?
Action Comics 1052.
Actually, no. Number 1.
Yeah. Oh, you wanted a serious guess. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like this so much because, dude, Breen, this cover is actually a real cover. We found out. That's the real art on there on the cover, but where they put in the girl in there, the daughter in there, that's added in, photoshopped in. This is from Flash Comics number 10.
I'm sure Breen knows that. I'm sure Breen probably has that issue somewhere in his couch.
I was a boy when they came out.
And no, again.
So I liked it so much. I got this cover too.
My shop had that one. I didn't go for it though. I'm kind of kicking myself.
Like I said, this has been a fun book, and I know LK tried to spoil it on the stream last night.
I know that.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. He tried to. Was it during the auction?
During the auction, he was trying to spoil it,
right.
and the book didn't come out till like Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that the shops get their DC books a week ahead.
Right.
So someone uploaded it to a pirate site, obviously where LK read it.
I
was
thought
basically giving away the whole plot. I was like, dude.
I thought for some reason my shop just didn't get in the end, and I was like, I was really bummed for a second.
No. Like I said, this was a very fun book. We finally figured out who basically, because the kid's being rounded up, we don't know why. At the end, there's a buyer there to come get them, and I'm not gonna say who it is because you need to read this book. If you're a JSA fan, you really need to read this stuff. Also, the kid here, I forgot what his name is. The raccoon hat.
Corky Baxter.
Corky Baxter originally, and I guess
bitch.
Originally Corky Baxter. Now this is the thing. I've heard that basically, I don't read a lot of JSA, but he barely was.
He wasn't in JSA, not in the
John. No. But he was in DC Comics somewhere before this, and he ended up like killing himself because he disappointed Rick. Rick was upset at him, and he killed himself. Apparently, Dang. This is a new version. This is like the New 52 version, I guess, and the Rebirth version mixed together. People are speculating that older one we saw in the JSA, Justice Society America, the one that's based going around and attacking the kids, that Den something. What his name is? It the redhead that's attacking the kids?
Perdegaton.
People are speculating that's his future self.
I think
so. That would be a really big thing, if they were, if they're connected. Probably not, but who knows? Jeff Johns does like to connect his books, so
he does. That is true.
So, but overall, I'm just looking more for this. Just everyone in there, we get like a whole rally thing. Everybody works together, fun, and they can storm the castle. Easy to say, is sling, but it is just fun. Now, I hope though that at the end of this, now we get to see these kids pop up in some of the newer books. If they keep doing more JSA. Now, I want to see the older versions. Remember, these are the ones from the Golden Age. A lot of characters. Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know. Overall, I do love this. I love this series. It's pissing me off. It's limited. If you're gonna be doing this, don't give me a 60 issue. Jeff Johns should be writing 50 pages or 50 issues. Jeff Jurgens writing a few. I don't care. Disconnect it, make it better. Awesome.
They need the paper for more Bat books.
Actually, did you notice? Well, I'll wait till it's my.
But yeah, I'm done. That's my number one of the week. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I was gonna say, go ahead, Breen. I know you probably have a book or two.
All right, I will do all the new books I got this week. Okay, off to you, Zach.
Hold on. I got full screen you.
He is full
I'm
screen.
done.
Oh, you're done already? Okay.
Oh, he's out. I thought you had something. You usually have something.
He had no books.
I didn't get anything this week.
Okay.
Until we get to the back issues, then I will participate.
I gotcha. I got something different this week. I got a post. I got a little poster. It's not even a poster. It's kind of small for a poster.
Hold on. Mark McGrath's saying, or maybe Corky is his kid. I think it's on his kid.
Well, Corky is the younger brother of Bonnie Baxter, who's another Time Master. I'm thinking of Doctor Who I'm thinking of the Doctor Who stream from last night.
But remember, Corky basically had messed with time beforehand and caused a lot of issues.
Yeah,
but also Corky was being a little deviant. Though we saw him in Flashpoint.
He is a little. He's a little.
He was helping out Batman.
He needs right against the face.
So he's
Batman
really rebellious. Imagine if he grows up and he's just pissed and he's.
I can see that working. I'm curious now. You've got me theory crafting. All right. Anyway, I got this cool poster the other day. It's kind of a small one, but it's the Fantastic Four 60-year anniversary poster.
Cool.
Mark Brooks. It's all anyone who's been a member of the team and all these different costumes.
When did the Thing become the Mandalorian?
Oh no, that's Johnny's girlfriend. There was a time when the regular FF were off somewhere else, so they had a substitute team fill in for him. So Johnny's girlfriend, they put her in that suit from the issues that we read, where Luke Cage joins the team. But
is that why she has a silver helmet? I mean, that's with the silver helmet on top of the Thing.
Oh no, that's where the Thing's face got all scarred up.
I know, I was just joking though, because it looks like the Mandalorian. I mean,
his face is already rocky, so I don't know why a scar.
He cut himself shaving. Whatever.
Anyway,
isn't that where part of his rock part was falling off? You can see the flesh underneath it.
So Zach, did that poster come with a lecture?
No, it's blank on the back.
Zach's like, there's too much color on the front. I got to turn around so I can only see the back.
Look at all that. That's so cool. They got Crystal. They got Storm from like the 3 issues she was on the team. They got Herbie. So anyway, I thought that was really cool. All right, my comics of the week. I don't have as long a list, and I got a stinker this week, man. God, I couldn't even. I'm so disappointed. Hey, let me ask you, how was Rogue and Gambit? How was that book? Was that?
So far, it's kind of
mid.
But art is great though. It's
okay.
It's Carlos Gomez drawing her like she was in the animated series, which has got that. Remember she's
the leather jacket and the green and yellow.
Yeah, there's that one scene where you see her. You have Apocalypse. You see Rogue on her side. You see the nice ass.
The butt. Yeah.
Yes.
He's
drawing the butt, the hips, and the boobs. She looks like the '90s Jim Lee kind of.
Okay. So I got the other Stephanie Phillips book this week. I got Cosmic Ghost Rider #1. The cover is actually pretty cool. The inside, the interior is garbage. It's not the main story. It's not even Frank's story. Frank's just like crashing at some bar out in space that's run by this girl and her dad. And the story's more about them. So, I mean, at least you had the good art. Whoever did the interior on this one kind of was less than mid. So this was a stinker. Avoid this book. This is not like Donny Cates. I'm sure Donny Cates probably read this, and he may say otherwise. But if I was Donny Cates and I was reading this, I'd be like, good Lord, what did they do to my boy? What did they do to my boy?
Dick Quinn's only got 3 books this week. He's got Purgatory Must Die. Says this book is mostly built for plot device surrounding Purgatory. True.
Okay.
Number 2 is Phantom Road, which I did read. I just didn't get this by.
Oh, wait, that's not that. Oh, that's let's later.
Well, hold on. We'll get to that. Interesting story of a female and a trucker transported in a weird universe. They find these strange creatures, which will kill them. They got to fight to survive. Yeah, it's a very captivating thing. I'm probably gonna go back and buy the book now, the physical copy. Yeah. Kind of really weird art, a little bit.
The art was different, yeah.
Not as bad as Matt Kent, though.
I thought Matt Kent was a writer.
No, remember he did Super Spy? Superb Spy?
Yeah, Spy Superb, yeah.
Spy Superb, yeah, that was his.
You're right, yeah, the art was really
but he said
different.
His number 1 was Ghost Rider, though.
Oh, regular Ghost Rider.
You're just getting the wrong one, though. You
I picked up the wrong one. I like Cosmic Ghost Rider. Like Donny Cates, when he introduced him, I liked Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Oh, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, on the cover,
yes,
there are warnings.
It says Marvel.
What they'll say on it is Stephanie Phillips.
Did she write that one?
No, this is the variant. Her name's not anywhere on the variant cover.
Oh, I don't. Oh, she has 2 books coming from Marvel. Did she just jump ship from DC?
Oh, I'm sure
Maybe?
she's still writing for them too.
There are writers who do both.
Oh, okay.
Ram V was writing for both.
3 books though. She was writing Harley Quinn, and now she's
Yeah.
doing Gambit and Rogue.
Yeah.
Or Rogue
And
Gambit,
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have writers that they'll do that with, though. They'll work both ends.
She told her husband to keep a low profile while she plays at being a lesbian comic book writer, so she's getting all the work she can handle.
Who's her husband again? Is it
Howard Teeny?
Howard Teeny? I was about to say Matt Fraction, but I don't think it's Matt Fraction.
No, that's Kelly's. That's Kelly Sue.
I don't think Stephanie's
That's
even,
her.
honestly,
Yeah.
I don't think Stephanie's even married. Or even seeing anyone. I think she's still single. She doesn't advertise.
Good. Someone out
She's
there.
She's kind of like the tomboy girl.
Kind
Like the
of.
weird tomboy girl.
She's. Yeah.
You think about it, she's kind of like Ruby Riot.
Ruby Rose.
No. Ruby
No.
Ruby Soho. Now in AEW is that?
Oh no, yeah. You think
whenever I
AEW,
see her,
okay.
that's what she reminds me of. Ruby Riot.
All right. This is next. This is this one was absolutely god awful. Don't buy this. This was better. There's a bit of a gap. There's a big gap in quality between
I
Cosmic
missed
Ghost
it,
Rider.
but I actually
and
said
this.
I actually liked that book this week.
This one was good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. MODOK was written really well, I thought. He has all of the new Invaders team. He's kind of got them all like trapped in their own mental prisons, and how they break out is really cool. Somebody does die I think it's like the very last panel too. So yeah, there is a death in this, which I was not really expecting. I didn't think that Colin and Lansing and or Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing would actually kill this guy. But yeah, it was a good issue. The art, this is still Carmen Canero's art continues to be good. I love her art, the color and everything. So yeah, shockingly, yeah, really good issue. I say shockingly, I've been liking the whole series so far. But
For me, it went up this week. The last couple of issues have been like, okay, I'm just done with the whole MODOK just beating their asses.
Yeah,
like,
well, in this one, MODOK got his ass beat. Well, and then kind of came back. But that was my number 5 book. So number 4, I kind of teased it. But we got Jeff Lemire, Gabrielle Walta, and Jordi Belair. This is Phantom Road number 1. Now, I actually really liked it. I thought it was really cool.
Very good start.
Very good start, I thought. We get introduced to the trucker. We kind of it gives you a little glimpse of like the middle of the story at the beginning, and then it goes to like the true beginning, like before everything happens.
Like the fact that he was not paying attention to the road. He started
daydreaming. Yeah.
I was waiting for the jackknife.
Dude, it was like they kind of go into like his origin, like when he's daydreaming, you can see like it goes back to like when he's a kid and like why he's a trucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, really cool. And then you got the little synthezoids or zombie, whatever you want to call them. And he's standing there with his Jason Todd crowbar.
Is it really zombie, or are they on a different world?
I just say zombies because it's like a brainless humanoid thing that wants to eat them. I mean,
we don't know if we didn't see anybody get eaten though. We've only saw that they basically touched his device and then woke up on this other alternate dimension of Earth, kind of like alternate,
Yeah.
And these creatures, are they really creatures, or are they just people that see them on their world and they see them?
You know what? There's some questions. There's some mysteries that I have about this.
I'm curious. Like, are these really like? Are they hallucinating together? Group hallucination? It's because I'm thinking like.
So like,
it's Stephen King plot.
I don't see. I'm wondering even, and I'm like looking at this. Like they show this like before everything happens. It's like him at a truck stop.
The guy.
To me, it just seems like. Yeah, there's the druggy guy here. There's the coffee waitress. My personal favorite, he goes into the bathroom, and there's this guy who looks like Reagan. I think he looks like Reagan. Anyway, I'm like, do these people have like connection to the story? I don't know. So I'm curious.
Is this like
Lemire's got me curious.
Would that be like if you saw what's his name, Robert Englund, or the guy who played Freddy?
Maybe
like I forgot his name is. I'm sorry for those who are fans of him, but I forgot what the actor's name is. But imagine seeing him, and then all of a sudden you're in a different world. It's just like he's like the kind of like the vampiress Carmilla. Like they know more, but they're not gonna say it. They're kind of like the devil type thing.
Yeah. So that was really good. That's my only indie book that I picked up this week, or my only floppy, I should say. Really, really good. I've been liking the stuff I've been reading from Jeff Lemire recently. So, yeah. Number 3, you showed this one off. This is Detective Comics, the good cover, 1052.
Ivan Ryan should be doing all the wing covers.
No, not 1052. This is 69.
And the interior art.
Yeah, this was really good. A lot of good stuff in this one. I liked this whole Harvey Dent kind of, he's like, okay, look, I made a deal with Two-Face. We saved your life, but now you got to leave us alone. You can't come find us, or I'm going to kill everyone you care about. So I thought that was really cool.
Because he knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because Harvey told Two-Face, or the Two-Face persona, that Bruce was Batman. So that was cool. I heard you kind of talking about it. The whole Batman's on one side of a wall and Gordon's on the other. They're having that was really cool. I like that moment because there's the moment where Gordon thinks that Bruce pulled his disappearing act again, but he's still there listening. I thought that was a really cool moment. I liked seeing. I know that I say a lot of times Batman books should be more Batman and less Bat Family. But I did like seeing Barbara in this one, helping him out.
One scene that it really stood out to me, the whole thing, is when they show him gliding over the town. You see the city.
The blueprint. That was cool.
And, the white print, double page spread.
Absolutely. So, really, really good. And then, like you said, even with the backup story with Simon Spurrier. And I'm not normally a big Simon Spurrier fan, but I did like this one with Mr. Freeze, experimenting on what was it, his therapist, I think it was, or somebody?
And he's basically Freeze is lost it. He thinks he messed up, and that's why his wife didn't want him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I forgot about that. Because they did unfreeze Nora, but then she ended up being hating Victor. Yeah. So I forgot about
power hungry and all that stuff.
That was actually probably the best backup story. That's
the worst part about this book
so far
is the villains.
Let's
just turn on. It's at the end, the son. It's the mother's. I feel like it's like Mother Mayhem and Brother Blood types of villains.
I like the villains. That's one of my favorite parts is that they're expanding the lore and not just recycling tons of villains that we've already seen.
Sure. It's a new character, but it just I don't know. I feel like if Batman comes face to face with that kid's gonna wet his pants.
He puts the win in twin, ladies and gentlemen. My guy with the layup right there. I agree.
I got you, twin.
I got you, man.
In between the bites of his meatballs.
That's right. Enjoy those meatballs, man. Enjoy them. 2 books beat Detective Comics for me though this week. One of them you probably know. Venkman probably knows the other one.
I know both of them.
He's going to be really upset when I show this one. He's going to be really angry at me. Action Comics 1052. I know Ash is going to see this and he's going to be like, that cover. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. 3 stories in here. Now, Philip Kennedy Johnson has the largest one by far. His story takes up half the issue. The other half of the book is half of it is Dan Jurgens and then half of it's Leo Williams.
The Metallo fight was okay.
The Metallo fight was awesome. Where did you get off just saying okay?
Because good. He comes back to Earth. It's I guess he's
okay. Well, he had the Luthor power up. He wasn't just old school Metallo. Yeah. But anyway, no.
Metallo was just trying to save his sister. He's an anti-villain.
No, he doesn't want to do anything. Luthor is using him as a pawn. He's actually he's holding Metallo's sister hostage. This has been common knowledge for the last 4 or 5 issues.
This is Metallo's redemption arc.
He's not.
He's an anti-villain instead of an anti-hero. He's an anti-villain.
There you go.
Yeah,
he's an anti-villain. Excuse me. That's really good coffee. No, really, really good scene in here. I actually showed Venkman this scene earlier because we're always talking about, is it Clark Kent? Is it Kal-El? What's the true identity? And how I interpreted this panel, how I read it,
kids don't have
the kids are asking him about why does he wear the glasses when he's not Superman? And he's like, oh yeah, well Clark Kent is the truest name that I have. That's who I am. He and Superman. Superman was what Lois called me. It's my identity that I keep separate from Clark Kent. And I really like that because Philip Kennedy Johnson isn't sticking with the whole my name is Kal-El, and I'm Kal-El first, and Clark Kent is just the whole Kill Bill thing about Clark Kent being the mask.
Instead of saying truest name, I just say Clark Kent's my name. Superman's is my public identity.
They know him as Kal because they met him on Warworld.
Yeah,
and so when he was on Warworld, he was going by Kal because that's Krypton is in space, it's in the DC cosmos.
And that's the thing is, like, I would have still call him as Superman.
Yeah. I mean, hey, everybody's got their own opinions. It's okay.
Yeah, why can't he rep the House of L? Like, why can't he be both? Why does he have to choose?
That's what I'm saying. What's up, Ronald Rugg? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, really, really great story. I think Philip Kennedy Johnson's been doing really good with his Superman work. The Dan Jurgens story was also good, but it just felt like a lot of exposition. Okay, that's funny.
And Metallo used Batman's underwear.
That's funny. That's actually a good one. I like that. That's funny. No, the Dan Jurgens story was good. I didn't think it got really good until right up near the ending where, like, John Kent is calling for his dad's help. I thought that was really cool. And then Lois gets an unexpected visitor. And then the Leah Williams, I want to like the Leah Williams story so much. I was expecting that we would just get that same fun, crazy vibe that we got from Exterminator.
It's on the couch. Heroes in Crisis.
It's not Heroes in Crisis. It's better than Heroes in Crisis because nobody's a murderer. But it is a very mid story. It's not a terrible story. It's not offensively bad. It's just very, very mid compared to the other two. So I'm kind of disappointed that editorial, it feels like they're holding Leah Williams back from putting out like a really, really fun story.
I just want more of the Dan Jurgens story.
Yeah. You got no books this week, Breen. You don't get to say nothing.
You know what else that means? It means I've got no Stephanie Phillips or That's no true. Leah Williams.
Look, I will admit I screwed up on the Stephanie Phillips book. Okay, that was a foul on my end. I took a gamble. This week the gamble did not work. Venkman got a better one because at least he got the Carlos Gomez. Is that who the artist was? Yeah. So at least he got that.
Like I said, the whole Dan Jurgens. I call him Daniel.
You call him Danny?
Jill will never. So yeah, Dan Jurgens story with JC with young Jonathan. He's in his tree fort, and alien spaceship crashes. Comes out. It's kind of like erratic. It comes out this hot babe, alien hot babe. He's just kind of like, oh my, and she's like, take me to your leader. He's like, well, you wouldn't want to really meet my leader. She's like, where's Superman? It's like, just she basically wants to meet Superman, and she's a princess. She's basically being hunted down by her people because
she's kind of like a Starfire ripoff, like a Great Value brand Starfire.
We haven't seen her powers yet, but.
But she's an alien princess.
They're both attacked by the machine, and at the end, you hear John just calls dad. And Clark rushes in with the black costume. This is Rebirth. This is taking place during Rebirth. Yeah, I love it. And you get the beard, you got the black costume, man. And I'm sucks because Philip Kennedy Johnson just takes up all of the pages.
It's his book, though. It was his book before they made it an anthology.
So I would just drop the Lily Williams story, or just let Dan Jurgens have his own freaking title.
They could do that too, but whatever. Moving on to my number one.
I'm just saying, I hope they collect it though, that story, in one book.
Oh, that's not going to happen. It's going to be a whole Action Comics trade. All right, number one, of course, you know me. I'm a shill for this guy. I'm a shill for both of these guys, actually. Jeff Johnson, Todd Nauck. And of course, this is gonna be my number one book, the most action-packed one I think that we've had so far of this miniseries. Corky Baxter is a little word I probably shouldn't say.
Little know-it-all jerk.
Yeah, a little jerk face, jerky jerk kid. But he knows that Stargirl and the Lost Kids. He knows that they need his help. And I like what Jeff Johns is doing. We said just a little while back he likes to connect all of these things together. So you see even in this story they're connecting to Flashpoint. They're connecting to Flashpoint Beyond, to Doomsday Clock, which, by the way, I like Doomsday Clock. I just keep saying that, seeing if that guy shows up from like a year back.
Doomsday Clock?
It's like,
I have not read Doomsday Clock, so when I pop up, I just laughed. I was like,
you need to read Doomsday Clock. You need to read it. Anyway, really interesting bit here about like the childminder. Apparently she's like a take on Mother Goose, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, what she
said. They made her really creepy.
She says writers wrote about me, and for some reason they tied me to the goose, maybe a fairy tale thing, It's like, but I'm actually. She had a rough childhood as it was, and she's basically just trying to save children.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's like, nobody liked me, nobody saved me, so I'm gonna save y'all. And then we find out who it is that she's saving the kids for. And look, I did not see this coming. Maybe I could have. Maybe I feel like if I had paid a little more attention, maybe I would have picked up some hints. But yeah, when you get to the end, you find the big reveal, and I just
kept thinking, like, is this tied to the Justice Society?
Oh, of course, Jeff Johns is writing it. Of course, it is.
Dragons going after the children
per Degaton.
Sorry, whatever.
Per dragon. Could be. No, it could be. I mean, look, they use a lot of Flashpoint Beyond. When like Corky Baxter's talking about Batman stealing the snow globe, like that's straight from Flashpoint Beyond. So I feel like anything that happens here, it's and whatever does end up happening, I feel like it'll tie directly to Justice Society
because they're out of time. So the problem is like guys like Stargirl's from the present, they're all from kind of the past,
but a lot of them exactly. So there's this point where she's thinking it's like all these kids are from the Golden Age, and so the point is to restore them back to their time, but she's like. Thinking's like, well, some of these kids aren't going to have like a happy ending or something if that happens. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm kind of curious as to how that turns out. The only thing
that's kind of stupid in this book is there's a little robot. I forget his name was.
Oh yeah, little little robot.
Yeah,
dog.
So that dog and because Stargirl, who's in the future, can't you do this? And so I'm like, he's from the freaking past. Why would you expect him to have all this fancy equipment stuff?
Because he's a robot dog. Of course, you would expect him
from the Golden Age.
You would expect him to do something. He just walks around and talks. He's like
what was that dog on Doctor Who? Canine, or whatever.
Canine could do some stuff though.
But that was a futuristic dog, though.
Yeah, well, it's futuristic for the early 2000s. Or no, he's not even. He was from before that. Actually, he's from the 70s.
Technology, wasn't he?
70s or 80s or something. Yeah, maybe. That's a pixel question. That's not exact.
Have a good night, Rogue. Thanks for joining, man.
Night, Ronald. But anyway, Stargirl, my number one book of the week. That is all I got when it comes to floppies. When it comes to hardcovers and trades, I'll have more to talk about. We got two twins up in here. We got triplets.
It's Twintosh.
Twintosh. Daniel Warren Johnson's new best friend, Skipintosh or Skimtosh.
Skip Twintosh.
I will explain the name when at the appropriate time to the people of the chat.
Right now.
Yeah. Oh, I got you, twin.
Every time he goes through
no, that's not why I'm waiting. I just don't want to be rude and cut off my twin while he's talking about his books.
Oh no,
please.
Man, I'm done. Cut away. If you got something to say, go ahead. I am done, sir.
Okay, so like on top of me not having enough cash, going to an ATM that was outside, holding my debit card for super long, and then like my fraud thing kicked in and denied like me getting cash. So I put in my Venmo card, and the ATM reboots and then just keeps my card. It reboots to Windows 7, and it just my Venmo debit card. So I had to shut my card down. But so I'm up in there. I'm waiting in line to, meet Daniel Warren Johnson and talk. And in Cape and Cal Comics in Oakland, there's like they keep their back issues in these big old drawers that can open and close. One of them must have malfunctioned. So there's this guy on the ground, like drilling, trying to, I guess, fix the drawers, which I just would have told him, like, hey, just wait till Daniel leaves to do that. Because he's trying to like talk and stuff. It was like the stupidest thing. Like, what an oversight. The manager like didn't stop him. Yeah. So no, literally. Okay, so that's like 5 minutes before I meet him, right? Okay, so I finally meet him. He's like, we're talking, things are going good, like it's all good. And then he asked for my name, and right as he asked for my name, the drill started. So I told him part of it, he heard some of it wrong, and he starts signing my name in the I can't remember if it was Murder Falcon or what was the Wonder Woman world again? Oh, Dead Earth. Can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But anyway, he writes SKIMTOSH. And I was like, I guess I'm changing my name because Daniel Warren Johnson don't make no mistakes. I just got a new name.
There you go. You don't choose your nicknames, right? The nickname chooses you.
That's right. So
you should have like took your phone out and like just typed it in. And like, here, hold this. It's my name.
Well, if he held it, then he probably wouldn't be able to, because he did a sketch and everything. But to your point, that's not a bad idea. It's just unfortunately, in the moment, he had already initiated writing. Because right as I was like, the dude wasn't drilling, he took a break, and then right as I started telling him, he was like, "Oh," and then he just starts writing, and then he's like, "Is it?" And he asked me multiple times, "Is that it? That it?" I don't want to sit up here and tell Daniel Warren Johnson that he just screwed up my name, because really he like signed it for free. Those were books that I had already bought. I didn't buy those while I was there, so I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like I still got a drawing. Like worst come to worst, I can literally just like slap a sticker over there over my name and just like, hey, I got a Daniel Warren Johnson sketch inside of this book. Look how cool.
Heck yeah.
Someone should.
Am I supposed to talk about my books? Okay. So if I'm talking about my books, I can't show them because I'm driving in the car right now. But I got.
You can multitask. Come on. It's for the people.
Well, I am multitasking. I'm driving and I'm talking. I don't want to die.
True.
There's a difference between multitasking and asking for death. I would rather not.
You won't die. We'll get to see the books for a split second before you crash.
Well, that's the other thing. You won't be able to see the books because I'm driving. There's no lights on inside my car.
Oh,
the lights inside my car
too.
suck. Yeah. So you can't see crap. But anyway, on that note, I pulled Detective Comics, which I believe is 1069 this week. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yep. That is correct.
That's off the top of the dome. I'm starting to get like Breen here. But yeah, I got 1069. I got cover A, and then I got the cover C Ivan Rice cover, which is just incredible.
Yeah.
And then I got Aftershock one shot, or I think they call them Aftershots. It was I keep getting the title mixed up, but I think it's called Every Day and All Night. And I think it's something Fox, Ray Fox, maybe. Anywho, I liked the premise of the book, but I don't think I've ever read anything from Fox before, so I don't really know what to expect. What I can say is I have not read an Aftershock or Aftershock one shot that I have not liked. I really liked Peter Milliken's one that he did with Piotr Kowalski. I also really liked I forget the name of the artist. He's got like one of those like one name names, but I think the name of the one shot was called Spectro or something like that. It was basically like anthology horror stories in space, and it was really cool. He's an artist and writer, so he even like almost like a DJ. He kind of mixed the stories into each other, so it like you can tell when the story ends, but at the same time it goes right into the next one, and it was really compelling. So I'm looking forward to this one also being good as well. And even though it's not a new book, but it is a book that came out this week, I got myself a copy of The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, oversized deluxe hardcover by our guy, Ram V.
Ram V.
Yep. So that was it. I only got two new books. And out of the two of those, one of them was a variant cover and one deluxe hardcover. And then I bought a bunch of stuff from Daniel Warren Johnson that he signed that some of the people on the panel are going to get.
I saw one of those things. I actually messaged you about it. So whenever you get a moment, let me know. But
I will definitely let you know, twin.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. You look like you would have. next time you see him, because I know you're probably besties with him now, but tell him game respects game. His beard is on point.
You know what? I will let him know, and of course I'm going to see him again because we're besties. Oh, I can also. So there's something that I can't talk about. So I'm not going to talk about how on an interview that me and Twin did recently with a certain artist, we said that that certain artist should collaborate with another certain artist, and that certain artist said that they have and they're supposed to do it, but it's probably not going to happen. But I talked to another certain artist today that gave us a lot more.
They're jamming your cell phone signal. They're trying to keep it a secret. Your cell phone signal got jammed.
Yeah, they're trying to shut me down. A certain artist actually, when I got excited, told me to keep my voice down. He's like, "You got to chill," and I was like, "Okay, my bad." You know, I was pretty excited. So anyway, but I didn't talk about it. So you know.
You said nothing. I gathered nothing from what you said. Nothing was heard here.
Yeah, just talked about all that. But you know, for the detectives out there, if they want to go and watch a certain interview me and Zach did with a certain creator on the channel, then maybe you'll find the Easter egg, and maybe you'll put 2 and 2 together, and maybe, just maybe, you might be that much closer to being the world's greatest detective.
There you go.
Not really.
Yes, Detective Chimp.
Okay, Tom King.
I'm waiting for him to show up in Danger Street.
Well, he was. They always made fun of him. It was at the Tom Taylor book, actually, Injustice. They made fun of Constantine's like, yeah, you got the Batman right in the back of the car, the cab with Detective Chimp, remember?
Well, who doesn't make fun of Detective Chimp? He's a monkey.
He won't show up in Danger Street because he wasn't in first issue special.
Oh, well, then there you go. There you go.
All right.
Good on you, Rachel. You win the no prize for today.
We're keeping it on the D low.
We're keeping it on the down low. All right. So
what did she say? I can't read because I can't read the comments because I'm driving.
She said, "I got it. I know what he said, every word, but I'll not say it because we're keeping it on the DL."
Oh, okay, cool. I was just hoping she didn't say something about Mystique's penis.
I guess she can have one if she can rewrite her. She can change shapeshift and stuff.
Do not feed the Rachel. I repeat, do not feed the Rachel. Do not turn this into a. She's not a troll. She's a Rachel. Do not feed the Rachel. We're going to avoid this conversation.
Side note, but also kind of connected note. I always thought it's like Mystique should be one of the most powerful mutants. If she can turn into anyone, like she could turn into Thor or Phoenix or anyone and just copy their power. I don't think it works that way. But when I was younger,
Wait, she doesn't copy their power, does she?
I don't think she does. But when I was younger, I used to think that she did.
She copies their abilities, like you saw in the X-Men movie, and then like she
in the movie she copied like Wolverine because she would copy his claws.
Yeah,
but I don't think she can copy she can't copy Magneto and become like a magnet, right?
No. When she copied, she basically she was in the movie. When she copied Wolverine, she didn't get his healing factor. She didn't get it. She made it look like
you're right there.
She can make herself look like a clone of you, but she doesn't have your abilities.
She could copy any physical aspects, but not.
And remember when they clashed claws, hers broke and she screamed in pain.
You are correct. I forgot about that. You are right. I haven't watched an X-Men movie in a minute. All right.
It's all right. The Bryan Singer X-Men movies aren't worth really watching.
They're not. And I used to love X2. I thought X2 was one of the greatest superhero movies ever back then too. And now I'm just like, it's all right. Nightcrawler was cool. But anyway, did you have any trades or should I start showing off my trades? I got a couple.
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't have anything except for Doc Ock behind me.
My Manifest Destiny binge continues. I picked up, this is volume 3.
on. Let me full screen.
Chiroptera and Carna. They have all the Latin names and classifications of stuff as the titles. So, this is Lewis and Clark's expedition, goes deeper into the heartland, monsters, civilizations, unbelievable things. This has been a really fun series. I was late to the party, but I'm making up for lost time. So I picked that up. And then when I went to Ollie's, I actually went to Ollie's this week and made a nice little discovery. I got the first, is this the first 5? Yeah, I think this is the first 5 volumes, or the first 5 issues, I should say, rather, of Fables. This is Legends in Exile. This is volume 1. So I'm starting at the beginning. This was like $5 at Ollie's. So that was cool. And then to go along with it, I found this. This is the Fables Encyclopedia. So this is all of the different characters from the Fables world. They're all in here. So I thought that would be a really cool thing to have. And then the final thing I picked up this week, I didn't get any of the floppies, but I've been wanting to get the collection, is I got Rogues from
Nice.
the other DC writer that I will simp for, Joshua Williamson.
That is a great book. I didn't get a chance to read the last issue, though.
Yeah. If you haven't read this one, this is the Flash's Rogues Gallery. Years have gone by. They're all old and like semi-retired, and they decide to pull one last job. Who they decide to pull one over on is really entertaining. Check this out if you haven't already. This is one of the Black Label books, but this is probably my favorite one of the Black Labels that I've read. This is probably my favorite one so far. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel, I didn't know you read. I didn't know you read Fables.
You're not a fan of Batman Damned?
I don't like the Bat Floppy. I don't like the Bat Floppy. No.
Sleep does.
Does she though? Does she now? I'm not so sure. Tina Howard has me.
Tina Howard's right now. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. She likes anything but his.
She likes cats again.
I don't think she's. Well, it's hard to say. Even in her own book, I'm surprised that she wasn't made gay.
Mark, Williamson, he did write Dark Crisis, which wasn't fantastic, but I thought it was decent. At least it wasn't like Infinite Crisis, but it was decent.
Yeah,
I thought. And then did he write Shadow War with Batman and Deathstroke?
Joshua Williamson did, yes.
Yeah,
he wrote the whole entire Shadow War.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was writing Batman and Robin. It was also tying into his. I believe he was also writing Batman at the time. This is before the Zars took over.
Maybe. I know he was writing Deathstroke. I know he was writing Robin. That's the only two that I'm sure of. I will know this. He's the only writer I can think of in this modern era who's written over 100 issues of a particular title. He wrote like 102 issues of The Flash before he stepped off the title.
Yeah,
I don't know any other. Like Jeff Johns hadn't even stuck on a title for that long.
I do love the fact that he actually made me care about Barry Allen. Because up to this point, I really didn't care for Barry Allen as much.
I mean, I like Joshua Williamson. I still don't really care for Barry Allen, but
I mean,
he did write some good stories, though. He did write some good stories.
It was Barry and Iris, and then because of the Flashpoint, you got a new Wallace. I was like, at first, I didn't care for that character because I was like, oh, why is this character here? But I say the person who's actually fixed that character or made it even better has been Jeremy Adams, and he's basically made him the sidekick to the older Wally,
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
I really like, because I really, I didn't hate Wallace, but he was just kind of there. He didn't really do anything for me. He didn't excite me.
He was kind of like the know-it-all, kind of like the spoiled brat.
Kinda.
I know Wally was.
I know he and Damian didn't get along in the Teen Titans Rebirth run.
Yeah, throwing him into the Teen Titan was kind of weird too. I was just like, they just kind of threw him away, like we don't want him anymore.
They did. Yeah, they got into some fight and then they kicked him off the team, and I was like, oh well, that's kind of a bummer.
Well, I mean, he was in Flash, Josh Williams, and all of a sudden he's just kind of like, you're going by Bendis. It's like, no. Yeah. It's like, let me stay, let me go by Bendis. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking I might do an unboxing Saturday. I'll let you
Oh
guys
yeah,
know
because you got all those boxes. Yeah,
I got a whole sharp box that got Mangleth's auction.
I mean,
Plus
I
other
know
box.
Skip
I
and
could do it now if you guys really wanted me to.
I know
Or
I'm around because Skip and I are not doing Hickman tonight.
All
We're
right.
not doing a Hickman stream, so I'm not.
That's up to
I'm not
Breen.
pressed for anything.
Do you? Because I was thinking about two. Because like the auction is at Saturday night. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know what your ability is before that. So I mean, if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it now.
Press type 1 in the chat if you want him to unbox.
I will probably just show the few things that I picked up and then jump off and just watch the stream because I haven't eaten yet.
You know what?
Oh yeah, I want to see Breen's back issues.
As he goes to stand up, oh God!
He goes to stand up and falls over.
That's how I was the other day. I was like, oh, it just randomly every once in a while my lower back.
I stretched this morning.
I have arthritis in my lower right back.
I felt something pinch in like my lower left side this morning.
Well, no, I've had lower. I hurt my back when I was 20 years old.
Oh shoot! Really?
So I've had like arthritis in the right side of my lower back. But
that's right, folks.
All right,
We are training up to be
Mr. Breen, so he can show off some of his trades.
We are training to be the replacement fossils.
Your back issues, your medication,
just some random stuff. A handful of years ago, DC did a Neil Adams tribute cover month, so they had him do variants for a lot of the books, and I just picked out a couple that I remember.
Hey,
that was from
cool.
Superman 243.
That's cool.
And the one made me laugh was this one.
Oh no!
Oh no! Is it Tim?
Yeah, that's Tim.
Oh no!
No, this would probably. Well, I guess it might have been Tim or Dick at the time, but
the sleeves look like Tim. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does.
There's Dick regardless.
Well, he found out what they were going to do to him, so he said,
maybe I can just like block it out of my mind if I take enough drugs.
Yeah, here's a comics interview. There's a 20-page Jack Kirby interview, so I'm going to check that out.
Wow.
Here's something I didn't know I'd forgotten existed, but a Man from U.N.C.L.E. series that actually lasted 11 issues.
Wow, I saw the movie.
Wow.
And there's some photo covers towards the end of the series. Here's a Joe Kubert School Presents First Folio that it's kind of like a tryout book for up and comers. Ron Randall had art in one of the stories.
Huh.
He went on to do some Justice League and various other books.
Very cool.
And then in my attempt to make Zach like Barry Allen, let's go back 60 years and
the Pied Piper and the Elongated Man. Oh, that's cool. I do like the Elongated.
That's how you get Rachel like that. Elongated Man.
I like all the rubber superheroes.
And here's where Barry broke his leg. Was told he'll never run again.
No.
And then 20 seconds later, his healing factor kicked in. Probably.
Iris is already having designs on Green Lantern. And then, without question, the best cover in the history of The Flash.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Yeah,
is that the one where he's also fat too?
No, that's the second coolest of all time, though. But,
right.
That's all I got.
Guys, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Was it 6 p.m. Central?